Good afternoon and a warm welcome back to the Royal Highland Show 2022 here at Ingliston. I'm Hamish Logan. I wasn't here yesterday, but you have seen me earlier on the week, and I'm back today to show you a bit more about what's happening here in the main ring. I'm actually joined by Annette and Elliot here, who are heavy horse experts, and we're going to discuss a little bit about what's actually happening in the main ring behind us. It's the Heavy Horse Championship and also the parade. There's some of the other heavy horses that are here taking part in the parade as well as the championship as well. So firstly, I'll introduce Annette. So Annette, where have you come from today?
Hi there, I'm from Pennycook, just about 15 miles away, just outside Pennycook.
Brilliant. And you've got quite a number of Clydesdale horses, I believe.
Yeah, I've got 10.
10.
Yeah.
And Elliot, what about yourself?
I'm just come from East Lothian today, but I don't have any horses myself, I just help out.
Help out people, exactly. Brilliant. Well, we'll let the camera do a bit of a pan round to see what's actually happening in the main ring, and we'll just have a bit of a chat, because I believe, Annette, your sister's actually here in the main ring taking part in the championship, am I right?
Yes. She won the stud cart class. She was first out of 25, so it was a huge class. So she's one of the 5 in the championship today.
And she is just on a singular, isn't she?
She's just a single, yep. It's called a stud cart because what they used to do is take the stallions round years ago in this cart from farm to farm. So that's why it's called a stud cart. You know, they would put the stallion in the front and then go to the farm with the mares and drive it.
Oh, brilliant. Yep. And I believe as well you also are used to driving the 6s, which I think we did cover off earlier on.
I was going to drive here for the first time. I've never driven a 6 yet, and I hope to drive them at the World Show in October. But 2 of my horses were lame, so I was just driving the 4 this week.
Such a shame. And so how did you get on when you were competing?
Yeah, we did well. Yep. Got some young horses in, and we got a few prizes. Yep, did well.
And Elliot, as you're here, you've not got your own, but you're not competing, but do you stand in the back and help them in the main ring, or do you sort of help down at the stable and groom?
In the multiple classes, the 3s and the 4s, the Unicorn and 4, I was grooming, I was up on the back and holding the horses in the ring, but I was also driving yesterday in the class that Annette's sister won.
How did you your sister won?
And Annette's sister won
that,
and I was 8th out of 24, which I was quite pleased with.
Well done. I mean, exactly, the first time especially. And I mean, coming to the Highland Show, I mean, it's an absolute pinnacle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's really good.
Because, well, one of them I heard the 6 had come all the way from Ireland, is that right?
Yep. Ireland, Nairn and Isle of Bute.
Yep,
that
was the 3 6s.
Wow. Wow. And I was actually thinking about this earlier when we were driving in, how you transport how you transport the carts. It's bad enough transporting the 6 horses, but how do you transport all the equipment as well?
I know. Most people maybe got Arctic lorries and they can do it, get the cart in and get all the horses in, and a bit of living in the lorry as well. At the moment, we're kind of in between lorries, so we've got a wee lorry that takes the cart, and we're waiting for a lorry to take the horses.
And have you been staying here all week?
No, I've been travelling back and forward, Elliot, and the young ones have been staying all week.
Just staying in the back of the lorry.
A good shift, very good shift.
Yeah.
And so tell us now about what's actually happening in the main ring just now.
This is the championship it's happening, so that's the 6-horse hitch going out for their show. So they'll try and show off to the judge, and I think they're just going to take one lot out at a time, and they'll try and drive their best here to show off to the judge, and then the next one will be who's next to go out there?
This one here is Ben, who's driving the 6-horse team that he just won from the Glebe View Clydesdales. They've come over from Northern Ireland, so quite
and
a
he's
trek,
20 years old, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he's only 20 years old. Yeah,
he's never driven the 6 at this show before. It's just his first season of driving the 6-horse team, so he's done a very good job, I would say.
Yeah, and winning his class just a wee while ago.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, to turn these amazing animals out is no mean feat. I can imagine it takes a lot of time, preparation, and a lot of early starts, I can imagine.
Yeah, long time.
They started very early this morning, before I was up, I'm afraid to say, to get these horses washed, to clean the harness, to clean the dray, to just plait the horse's mane, put the flights in, and then harness them up and hook them up to the dray. It takes a lot of people, a lot of time, and a lot of effort, but it's all worth it.
And the history behind like the sort of feathers in their mane and their plaits, what's that from? Is there a reason for it?
They plait the mane just to make it look a bit prettier, I guess, and to
give them a nice crest in their neck as well, you know.
Yeah,
just give them a bit more presence.
Yeah. Putting the flights in, which are just on top of the mane, just makes them look a bit bigger.
Well, the more experience you get, the better you get. This looks a very impressive drive from young Ben, driving this team of 6 from Ireland. The Glebe Clydesdales are owned by Victor Scott. That's great, the support coming from the grandstand. They're well balanced, they're well matched. So in that team of 6 we have the horses. We have Shane, we have Jack, we have Jock, we have Dan, we have Samson, and we have Seth. So completed order. Out comes the team of 4.
So now coming out is the team of 4. So I think, Elliot, you know who these are, don't you?
So this is the 4-horse team. They won the class on Friday. It's being driven by Ron Brewster, who's from Perthshire. The horses and the turnout itself is all owned by John and Margot McIntyre from Ayrshire. I think John might be grooming, although he might just be watching from the sides today. He was driving the pair yesterday, but no, these are a team of 4 mares in here. So unlike the last, the 6-horse team was all geldings, all males. This is 4 mares here. So not many people drive the mares, but yeah, they've had this.
Are the mares sort of known for being a bit more livelier when driving than compared to the males, or is it not really the case?
A bit more temperamental, yeah. They are.
Got to get more skill about having a good hold of them when driving them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And what are they trying to show in their actual show when they're going around? Are they trying to show like working off both legs basically as well?
Well, the ones next to the driver, we call them the wheelers. They should be doing all the work, and the leaders are there just in case they're needed. See if it's a heavy load, just in case, just to pull.
Right.
So their chains shouldn't be too tight. They should just be taut.
So the ones right first are pulling the weight effectively, and
no,
then
the ones at the back, they're pulling all the weight.
Oh right, okay.
And the ones in the lead, they're just there if you need them. You know, if it's a very heavy weight, if you're going up a hill, they're just there for that.
And is that the same with the 6s as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was quite a few 4s on Friday, wasn't there?
Yeah, there were 6 teams of 4.
6 teams of 4.
Of which you were driving one in it.
Yeah.
And these are all in the main ring, weren't they?
Yeah.
As well,
Yeah.
Another thing to note would be I think 3 of these horses have been imported from America.
Oh wow.
Just
Yeah,
a
huge
few
applause
years
for
ago
this wonderful
and then broken
show
in to drive
of
here.
the
Wow.
team of 4.
It's a lot of dedication.
Because the Americans
Well
have quite a lot of Clydesdales, don't they?
Yeah.
And
they've
have
got
yours
one.
come from there, or have
No,
you bred them
no,
yourself?
I was
or?
bred over here. I've bred 2 of mine, 2 that I drive, and then just got the rest in.
Closely,
But it used to be all the Americans come over here to buy the horses, and they were over there, but now we're bringing them back over here now.
Slightly different way.
They bought all our Goodwins.
And there's later on this year is the Worlds, so I'm
Yep.
assuming they'll all be coming over to Scotland and Aberdeen, is that
Yep,
right?
yep.
They will be,
Yep,
yep.
they
Bringing
will
all
be.
their horses is with them.
Well, hopefully they will. Yep,
And
we're
are
looking forward to that.
planning on competing up
Yep,
there as well?
Yep, we're hoping to drive a 6-horse team up there.
Yep.
But there's even going to be 8-horse hitches there as well.
Wow,
So there is, so it'll be good.
wow.
Yeah.
And this is a 3 coming out now, isn't it?
This is
that right?
This is a 3. It's a unicorn formation, we call it here, with the one out in the lead. Usually would be used just if you need that bit of extra horsepower
Yep.
to pull either up a hill or on heavy ground, or just if you're carrying more weight than a pair could reasonably go. This is John Goodwin here.
Yeah, where's he come from?
He's come all the way from the Isle of Sheppey in Kent. So,
Whoa,
A long
travelled
way, a long
very
way.
far.
Uh-huh.
So that's about an 8 or 9 hour drive, I think it was for him, with the 3 horses and everything else that comes along with it, and the feed for them this week, everything that they needed.
Yeah, because these are obviously very, very big animals, and I can imagine if you've got 10 at home, you'll go through some feed supplies.
Yeah, they like the feed. Yep, they like the feed in their hay. Yep, they do.
How much do they typically eat a day, roughly?
Unicorn.
Roughly, it's quite difficult to say that, but you just have to keep them with hay all the time. But
Yeah.
Hey, you could eat.
Really
I don't know.
enjoy
We've got a few round
Full
bales in the
square
week
belly
anyway,
every
so we
day.
do.
That's the beauty we have here.
But John here, he was at the 3 Counties show last week,
yes.
and then he came and he stayed with me for 2 nights.
Yeah,
And then
he's quite dedicated. He drove straight up from the 3 Counties show after competing there, straight up. He didn't go home, and after today he's heading down to Royal Norfolk show.
And still not going home between now and
not
then?
No,
going
still
home.
not going home.
And the
no.
horses
me.
won't go
No.
home either.
Smile on
Yeah,
the driver's
yeah.
The horses have had like a
Things are
3-week
going well.
holiday by the
Uh-huh,
time
they have.
by the time they get home.
Aye.
And I can imagine like the Clydesdale sort of heavy horse community is
Yeah.
you all know each other very, very well as you're seeing each other a lot. And
Aye,
it's
yeah.
good fun from-
Everybody helps each other.
It's very
yeah.
close knit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
everyone
compete
gets
in
on.
the ring, but out of that, everybody socialises.
Good,
and, yeah,
good.
Gets on
And
really well.
where else do you compete other than the Highland Show?
Well, we'll go down to the Great Yorkshire,
Yep.
and we're going to go to New Forest, and
Oh, well,
then
very
we do
south.
all the
Great
local
applause for
shows
them.
like
Terrific.
Biggar,
Three,
Dalkeith,
Yep.
Haddington, who
You good
Yeah.
Haddington, yep.
you
Yeah,
are the
next
main,
weekend.
you're
Next
the main
weekend.
steward for Haddington, aren't
Yeah,
you?
for the heavy horses.
For the heavy horses.
So
Yeah.
brilliant.
Just about every weekend.
Every weekend in
Yeah.
the summer, make the
Yeah.
most of the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
show season is very much upon us, so
That's
definitely
right, it
let's
is,
make
it is.
make the most of it, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have to say we've been very lucky with amazing weather here at Ingleston. It's been a bit showery today, but fingers crossed it stays away until the rest of the show's all finished. Have you been to see much of the show, or have you just been very
No,
busy?
No, we've just been very busy. We don't think we've seen any of the show, have we?
No, I think we made it to the ice cream
Ah,
van.
yes, we made it to the ice cream van, that was it.
Well, Flora earlier on Thursday, she got to the churro van as well. So there is the priorities, isn't there, to get some food.
Yes.
And have you visited the food hall? The food hall's always brilliant.
Yeah, the food
Yeah,
was
well,
good.
because
We're
we're
luckily-
stable,
Oh,
we're
you're
right
very
next
close,
to, very
yes.
close to the food hall, so that's
Maybe
why.
a bit too close.
Yeah.
a bit tempting.
I have to say, I've not really seen very much of the show either because we've been very busy as well. So this is now a 2 that has come out a pair.
Pear,
Yes,
pear,
it's a
yeah,
pear.
pear.
And these are Belgians, so the breed originated in Belgium, but these have a very different look and a very different height to they're a lot taller than the original horses.
Right.
These were imported from the USA as well. And they drive a lot. There are a lot of Belgians over there, a lot more than they have of Clydesdales or anything else. But they've never really. There's not been too many here in the past. But
And do you know who's driving them, or?
yeah, this is David Mullen. He's come up from Fordingbridge in Hampshire. So
wow,
he's
another long drive.
Even further than John Goodwin, who was before him. Yeah, he brought 6 Belgians up here with him. He was supposed to be in the 6-horse team, but he just decided not to go so that he could do
And
this.
can the horses? You said you had a 6. Could you if you weren't able to do the 6, you could do the 4 with the same ones you'd planned to do the 6. So you can you can compete in the pairs, 4s and 6s if you wanted to. Yes, they're fairly adaptable.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can do. If you've got 6, you can do the 4, you can do the 3, you can do the pairs.
So they're fairly
single.
adaptable.
Yeah.
And when you're training them, you obviously have sort of set where they positioned in the 6s. Do you can you move them around, or do you like to keep them where they're meant to be?
Some horses, it just depends. Some horses don't mind, and
Yep.
other horses just like to go to certain sides.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
And then one of the horses that I had in the hitch, he gets ridden as well.
Oh right.
Yeah.
So
So
in the Ridden Clydesdale
yeah,
here.
he was second here on Thursday.
Out of 12.
Yeah.
And
so-
then did the 4s with you as well.
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
Very
and
busy.
the unicorn. He's
Yeah.
had quite a busy show.
He's been
It's,
busy. And he
yeah.
was in the pair as well.
Yeah, and the pair as well. Yeah,
God,
has been.
he's had
Yeah.
a very busy week, hasn't
Very
he?
busy week. Yeah.
So David told me, well, he's got his 6 horses here, and he told me it did take him a few months on trial and error to decide which horse would go in which position in the hitch, depending on how well they went with their mate on either side, and whether they like to follow or be out in the lead and show off and lead the way. So it takes quite a bit.
Yeah.
To just get
And Annette, now your sister's now coming out as well.
This is Elaine. She's driving Yorkie.
Prize winner out just
He's,
now is Elaine Ramsey.
He likes to show off in the ring, Yorkie.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Yeah.
And how long's he been driving?
He's been driving for 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he drives in the pair. He's driven right up to the 6. Normally my father, well, Elaine always drives this, but normally my father drives them, but unfortunately he's not keeping that well, so he's not here this year. This will be the first year he's missed it for 60 years.
Well, I hope he'll be able to watch us live
Yes,
here
yeah.
later on, if not now, to catch up on the action.
So.
And she's just shot a single, so slightly different cart to the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm assuming lighter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot lighter.
The main purpose really of this cart is to just show off the horse. They're not pulling much weight.
Yep.
They're just they can go a lot longer with just pulling that, and you want a really flashy horse that likes to show off and goes on their own very well.
Definitely.
I will add that Yorkie, he's been in a lot of cart classes over the last 4 or 5
days.
years, but he has been since he started driving in this class, and he's never been beaten yet. So in his class, so.
Brilliant.
No, and she did well when there was 25 in the class yesterday.
And Yorkie striding out.
And then the other ones in this ring as well, some of these are just here for the parade. They're not actually taking part in the championship, aren't they? And these are the more agricultural type carriages.
Yes. These were used on the farms years ago. So they were.
Very traditional. Very traditional.
Yeah. But this next one is in the championship because it won the agricultural class, the one it's going to be coming out next.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I would say she did a very good job there.
Yeah, he went well.
Are you
there.
proud of that?
Yeah, he went really well there. Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed for
Yeah,
her. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And the judge, do you know the judge? Has he travelled far as well?
He's travelled from.
He's come up from Cambridge to judge here for the 4 days. His name's Owen Garner. He drives a hitch of Percherons, which are another breed of heavy horse that originated in France. And he's very experienced with the turnouts and driving, and he's judged a lot.
So he's very used to the judging as well. Yes.
Yeah.
He's done it all before.
And there's not a set way of doing your show, is there?
They want you to do a figure of 8 normally.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So other than
do a
that,
figure 8.
as long as you do a figure of 8 in your show at some point, that's enough.
Yeah.
But the rest of it is free
And
rein.
normally after the first, the judge will say do a figure 8, and normally everybody just follows the same route.
Right,
Most
okay.
people do anyway. Apart from this, the farm cart, they just walk. So
Yes,
this
'cause they're not
this
as-
is Kirsty Hislop from
She's just from not far away.
she's very close to here
Stirling
too.
area, I believe.
From about Stirling.
not very far away.
No.
And she's got her Clydesdale gelding here that she's driving.
So the pipe band are very much passing us very closely right now, so we'll stop talking so you can listen to the pipe band in the background.
Every horse to Clydesdale pulling the hay cart. Now these were used extensively to bring the harvest home of the hay, and it's great that Julia Hislop, it's Kirsty Hislop driving, and Mrs. Quinn Hill Majestic. And after a hard day's work, that's probably about the pace, but it got the job done.
Let the camera pan back to the action now and see what's happening in the main ring. I have to say, they're all very well behaved in the main ring, standing very chilled, I would say. But I suppose they're very used to this, aren't they?
They are, and this is the end of the week as well, so they've all done quite a lot.
They're probably
So
knackered like
yeah.
like everybody else at the showground today. They've probably had a long week.
Most of them are pretty well. They have to
Yeah.
stand, you know.
Takes a lot of training to get them to
Yes,
do that.
yeah, you have to train them.
Start them quite young to
Yeah.
get them quite tame
And how old are probably the average age for driving? Do they get to an age that you have to sort of stop, or just when you think they're not able to do any longer?
Well, there's the youngest ones in here are 3-year-olds, and they go right up to 17,
There's
17,
17
and
year old
yeah.
horse, in the lead of Ben McLaughlin's 6-horse team. The offside leader is a 17-year-old. He won the single class on Thursday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
With that dray, and he was driving as well. But that's quite unusual to have it as old as that, and still competing. But no, there's ranges from about 3 to
3 to 6.
Yeah.
And what sort of height are they? How many hands are they? 18? Am I
Yeah,
guessing here?
Yep, 17 to about 18-2. Yep.
And you said
Yep.
the Belgian ones are probably bigger
The
than that.
Belgians
ones
are bigger.
quite big.
Yeah, they're
probably
bigger.
over 19 hands definitely.
Mhm.
They'd be the biggest
Yeah.
horses in here,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
the strongest as well for pulling.
Yeah.
As a result.
So the judge will now be making a decision, is that right?
Seems like he's made up his mind, has he? I don't see the judge. Is that him just walked out there?
Right.
No, oh, is he still? Oh, I see him there. Yeah.
He's just standing
Just-
back.
oh,
Having
I
a wee
see.
conversation with
Yeah.
the other stewards in the ring.
Yeah.
But,
I can imagine very nerve-wracking for
Very
Brian.
nerve-wracking for everybody
Yes,
sitting there
yeah.
thinking, right, who's
Who's going to win?
Uh-huh.
Well, fingers crossed for your sister.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
So earlier on today we filmed some of the young sheep handlers that were taking place, and remember to catch up on all of this on the Royal Highland Show website, which is going to be available to watch right up until probably next year's show, where all the content will be available to watch, including all our filming and also all the other live coverage that's been filmed around the showground over the last 4 days.
Royal Highland Show.
so the judge
Oh,
is
yeah,
just,
the
the
six, I've
judge
got
is
it,
just
that's
pulling out
good.
Ben McLaughlin here, who is driving the 6-horse team of the Glebeview Clydesdales. So
Who has won the championship?
Yeah, he's won the championship. Yep.
And considering this is his first show driving the sixes, I'm sure he'll be very, very
they'll
happy.
be absolutely over the moon.
He will be very chuffed. So will his grandfather, who he's taken the reins.
Oh, has he taken on the reins?
And his mother's grooming as well. So
very big family affair. Very big family
they'll be
affair.
really happy. And John Goodwin with his unicorn, he's reserve.
He's reserve champion.
So he'll be happy, very happy.
He's smiling there on the camera. He usually goes around the ring with a big grin.
Well, it'll be very nice to see him, to cheer him on for having been so successful.
Entertainment to all of us here at the 2022 Royal Highland Show.
And are these guys going down to the Royal Norfolk as well, do you know? Or?
No, the Irish. They're going home.
They're going home.
They're going back home tomorrow morning. 12 o'clock boat, he said, doesn't it? Tomorrow,
He's got time to recover tomorrow morning then if he's celebrating too much tonight. Well, he's very well deserved celebrating, that is for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure your sister will have enjoyed being in the ring, hasn't she?
Yeah. It's very difficult for a single to beat a six.
Oh,
you know,
yes,
you'd
understandably.
Have to be outstanding.
But she still did very,
Yeah,
very
she did well. She did really well.
In her own class as well.
Yeah, and he went well there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she'll be really
Our
happy.
sponsors in the ring, giving the champion ticket and ribbons pinned on to Victor Scott's Glebeview Clydesdales. What a huge result for them. And just to help you all, Victor Scott and his team built this dray 6 years ago. What a magnificent dray. There's some of them in here are much older than that, but most of them. And there's reserve. There's David Sterling presenting the reserve ticket to John Goodwin with his unicorn.
He'll be very happy, won't he, as well?
Yeah, he'll be really happy. Really happy.
And we have the unicorn.
Worthwhile coming up.
Definitely. And all the hard work that goes into it to be able to champion.
Yeah.
They've displayed tremendous skills driving and producing entertainment for us. I'm sure
it's always a very nice sight when they go around the main ring, isn't it? Once they've had their championship and been announced the winner.
And it's quite nice to see the stand full as well, you know, it's a lot of people watching.
Well,
nice, isn't it?
I have to say it's been a very, very busy show over the last couple of days, and Friday and Saturday was a sellout, so it's been absolutely fantastic.
Very good.
Well, as you have seen live here at the Royal Highland Show, we've been able to see the Heavy Horse Championship take place, and I have to say a lot of thanks to Elliot and Annette for sharing their words of wisdom and helping me, as I am very not clueless. I do know a little bit about them, but not a lot about the Clydesdales. So I have to say it's been fantastic. Join us very soon, as we'll be back here again watching the final Grand Parade of the 4 days here at the Royal Highland Show, and we'll also be going to the pole climbing later on. So thank you very much for joining us here today, and we'll speak to you all very soon. Thank you.